So what's the point of making videos every day? Like, why are you even doing that?
Because I want to reach more people. Because you have to commit to an idea, and that idea is to stick at something and do it every single day. And if you don't do that, you won't get anywhere.
Really? So every single person who ever achieved anything in their life had to do it every single day, even if one day they weren't feeling fully up to it?
Sometimes I think that if they some days that they had off, and I'll have days off as well, but the standard should be there, the passion should be there, the fire, the spirit should be there. If you don't have that fire and spirit and passion, then you're just not going to be able to invest more energy in that than you are in your limiting beliefs.
See, all I hear is passion should be there and the energy should be there. And then you're talking about limiting beliefs, but those to me stand out as the limiting beliefs. When you put these impossible standards that this should happen, you don't allow for any other reality other than that to happen. That's an impossible standard. It's a should statement. I'm like, you can see that should statements are not something that's opening you up, right? It's actually limiting you.
We're talking about the movement of motion of energy. It's the fundamental principle of life and of the universe itself. That something doesn't just go short burst, stop, short burst, stop. It uses so much energy. But if you create a momentum, then you can keep yourself moving forward easier and easier and easier every day.
What do you mean short burst, stop?
Well,
There's
that's
lots of
start, stop,
things.
start, stop.
There's lots of things in life that go start, stop, start, stop. The whole day starts and then at night it ends and it stops. And then the next day it starts again and it stops. Without the stop, which is the nighttime, you wouldn't have a sunrise.
Yeah, this video is going to make me look like an idiot because that's really.
So why are you so afraid of looking like an idiot?
Why am I afraid of looking like an idiot? Well, because I really want to be consistent with putting out good messages for people that builds trust. And it's important to build trust so that I can develop relationships because it's very hard to trust people in this day.
So how can they trust you if you don't even show yourself fully? You only show yourself when you always have that passion, when you always have that energy, and you hide all the parts of yourself that clearly that are in your shadow, which is all about your shadow work. The parts of yourself that are feeling low energy some days, maybe they're not feeling so passionate some days. And that's part of your shadow. Why are you hiding that part of yourself and you still expecting people to build trust with you when you're hiding this persona from themselves and trying to project like this perfectionist sort of image?
I honestly am not really doing that. I am putting myself out there. I'm being very vulnerable in the world. I'm showing real parts of myself. Like I announced to like a couple thousand people that, I used to be a transgendered person. That's really vulnerable. It's really hard to put myself out there and to show my real self to people. I've shown characteristics of myself which desperately seek to hide themselves. What I guess with perfection, yeah, okay. So I'm trying to put out a polished video and I'm trying to put out a consistent message and I'm trying to get rid of ums and ahs and yeah, I'm trying to project an image. It's true. But so is everyone making these videos. I think it's kind of just trying to keep a reasonable level of standard.
Well, standards are good. I can agree with standards. But if you're going to be vulnerable, that in itself is a standard. And part of vulnerability is showing that imperfections, is showing that parts of yourself that maybe you're not proud of, or maybe you don't think is perfect. Maybe it's only 80% there, not 100% there. Maybe your energy is not so passionate 100% all the
Yeah.
time. Maybe it's at 80%. But if you hide that part of yourself, people don't get to see that vulnerable side of you because not everyone is feeling 100% all the time either, just like yourself.
Yeah.
It's actually going to help people to build trust with you if they see that you're just like them, that you
Well, I
also
am.
have off days.
I'm just like them. Like I have a lot of fear in me. I'm terrified of being judged, of course. And I'm trying to work on that every day because like, I used to have a much worse relationship. There used to be something that was really all encompassing. I couldn't go into social events without like just feeling so vulnerable around any people. Anyone came up to say hi to me, I felt like really awkward and really uncomfortable. So to go from that to making a channel where I'm talking to people, it's really intimidating. But I love it, but it's really intimidating. And I am being vulnerable with people. But my remaining quirk of fear is that I'm trying to be perfectionist. I'm trying to polish things. I'm trying to create an image because I want to reach a huge audience of people. I want to put out a quality product. That's what it comes down to.
So a quality product, in your own words, includes vulnerability, right?
You're right that it does.
So when you are being vulnerable, that's going to help people build trust, and it's going to help you to show yourself fully, right?
Right.
So part of that, and if you want to consider it a polished product or not, because not everyone is a polished person, not even you. You're still a work in progress, just like everybody else in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you try and project a polished image all the time, that's really unreachable for people. And it's not easy to trust that kind of person who only projects a polished image because you don't see their vulnerable side. So, how are people going to feel comfortable sharing their shadows and their vulnerable side with you when you can't share your vulnerable side with them?
The only thing I've really edited out my videos is me stopping and saying, okay, wait a minute, let me think for a second. And then I pause and I have a think, and then I'll continue my video. So I might do like a 10-second cut. And oh no, people don't get to watch 10 seconds of me just sitting there thinking.
Well,
That's all they're missing out on.
That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is what they're missing out on is you not making videos when you're only feeling about 80% passionate rather than 100% passionate. They're missing out on a version of you that's still trying, even though they're on an off day.
That version of me just simply doesn't feel very inspired and doesn't really want to make a video because I'm just not feeling inspiration, not feeling motivation. I'm feeling very just tired, you know, and I just want to rest and relax. That's what my instincts say. So it's not investing any energy into creativity, into analytics, into anything like that. It's just like, oh, I just want to switch my brain off. So it's really hard to make a video in that state because what am I going to talk about?
So basically what you're saying, you want to switch your brain off, you want to rest and relax. That's what your body's telling you. But at the same time, you have this goal for yourself that you want to make a video every single day because you want to create consistency. You don't want to start, stop. You don't want to start, stop. You want to create a flow and a momentum. So how do you consolidate those two? The fact that you want to have momentum, but you're also feeling like you don't have the energy, you don't feel inspired. How do you consolidate those two?
Well, what I do is I try and think outside the box. For instance, let's sit down with your partner and just have a conversation and see where it goes.
Okay, so basically what you're going to do is use this footage as part of your video and showcase to the world that even though you are feeling like you're on an off day and you just want to sit down and relax and you want to switch your brain off, you're still actually putting that effort in to continue that momentum that you want, which is to put out a video every single day.
Exactly. Thanks everyone for watching. This has been today's video. It's a conversation between my partner and I. We're both coaches and we have these kinds of conversations every single day. Okay, see you next time.